Renewals, confirmations, and public elections for Thursday, July 6th. Chair detects quorum. Chair asks Ms. Porterfield to shut the door. Thank you. It gets a little rowdy out there. All right, let's make a consent agenda. We're gonna put on consent RS 2023 2290 by myself. It is the Notary Public's. 2023 2307. Let's put that on consent. 2023-2309 consent. 2023-2310 consent. 2023-1991 consent, unless you want to talk about it. Okay. And there we go. All right, I will read through. Does anybody have any issues with that? So if you're on consent.
Perfect.
Gotcha. Everybody good? All right, so we've got 2023, RS 2023-2290 approves the election of certain notary publics for Davidson County. RS 2023-2307 calls on Tennessee General Assembly to pass common sense gun reforms during its upcoming special session. I will make a side note that that is what the special session is about, so. RS 2023-2309 recognizes Chief Max Nopeful and congratulates him on as a 2023 International Food Service Manufacturers Association Silver Plate Award winner. RS 2023-2310 approves a sister city relationship with the Governorate of Erbil in the Kurdistan region of Iraq and authorizes the mayor to execute a sister cities agreement. And then on second reading, we have BL 2023-1991, which adds a new section 2.128.070 to the Metropolitan Code, establishing the office of the county historian, the appointment process and necessary credentials, as well as the county historian's duties and appointments within the metro government. With that, that's our consent agenda. I have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right. Taking us back to RS 2023-2187, urges the mayor's office and the Metro Health Department, Metro Homeless Impact Division, and Metro Social Services to evaluate housing pods purchased with COVID-19 epidemiology and laboratory capacity. Grant funds. Ooh, this is a mouthful of things. And creates an action plan for their use. I've got a motion and a second, and I will move the substitute. Councilor Evans.
Yes.
All right.
The substitute.
Any discussion? Seeing none and hearing none. All those in favor? Any against? Any abstentions? With that, you are approved on your substitute. Now I'm going to move it as substituted. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? I did have a second on that one. All right, we're good to go. Druffel and Delicia, I think y'all were on you were on consent, Druffel.
Okay.
Delicia.
I'm on the CLB one. I don't think it's on consent.
Okay, cool. Okay, you're good.
Thank you.
Taking us to bills on second reading, we've got already did that one, backing it up. 2023-1990 by Syracuse, Hurt, Porterfield, and others. Amends the Metro Code to reconstitute the Community Oversight Board as a police advisory and review committee for the Metropolitan Government to fully comply with Public Chapter number 454 of the Public Acts of 2023. I have a motion and a second. All right, so we've got an amendment and we've got two proposed amendments. So we'll start with Amendment 1. Councilman Syracuse, would you like to explain your amendment?
Thank you, Chair. It's more or less a cleanup amendment. It adds a little more transparency to process with budget, updates internal affairs to what the police department actually calls that area. So it's cleanup. Did I miss anything else?
There's a typo that's being corrected as well. And it spells out the parameters around issuance of a subpoena that echoes state law instead of just a reference to that state law.
Okay. Any questions? Any discussion? Okay, I've got a motion and a second on the amendment. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right, Delisha, Council Lady Porterfield, would you like to address your amendment number 2?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to ask you all to please support amendment number 2, which changes the effective date until October the 27th. Right now, state law gives us 120 days for the new committee or board to be formed. This will allow it to be formed the Friday before the deadline, as opposed to it immediately happening upon passage of the state law. This will give the current board the ability to use the full period of transition time to wrap up anything that they're currently working on, and also give them the ability to prepare for the new changes that will be coming forth once this is enacted. So would love if you all would please support it
What's the current enactment date in the legislation?
upon passage of the law.
Oh, upon passage of this legislation. So my only concern of it, so it's the Friday before it has to be done. I'm just worried, is that enough wiggle room if, do we want,
There's,
It
from my
makes this
understanding, is Metro Legal and everyone's on board with this
Okay.
date.
Everyone's
So,
reviewed it and is on
Okay.
board with that, yeah.
okay, cool.
yes.
All right, any questions? All right, I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right, so I'm gonna move BL 2023-1990 with Amendment 1 and Amendment 2. I have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? All right, with that, it is passed. And that takes us to late items. So I have late ordinance by Council Lady Lee and myself. It cancels 32.71 acres of a portion of a planned unit development located at Hamilton Church Road unnumbered, approximately 335 feet east of South Shore Drive. So we're Rule 13 only, and so this one was late because planning was filing, I think that was 527 pieces of legislation for us to hear next meeting. So, is everybody okay with that?
Yes.
Just got lost. Okay, great.
Okay with the 527?
Yeah, I don't know that I'm okay with that. Can we vote on that?
And then I have a late filed substitute, BL 2023-2037, and amends 13.12 acres of specific plan for properties located at 109 and 123 Bosley Springs Road to clarify permitted uses and amend the regulatory requirements regarding greenways. So the emergency filing on this one is, somehow while they lost a few bills, they found an error in my bill, so it's just fixing some sort of typo or parcel incorrection. So, is everybody okay with that? Great. Taking us to late filed amendment, BL 2023-1882. We don't have Council Lady Allen, but it creates a Metro Code establishing a BPAC, Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Commission. I think this has been worked out for the most part, is what I've been told, and basically is just getting everybody to. It's late filed because they're having a meeting to discuss this. I'm looking at Margaret as.
I think
Is there
it's
something else?
late filed just to kind of give notice to people of the intent, but I believe that the overall bill is gonna be deferred.
Okay.
think that's
Because
what
they're
it
having,
is.
that's it, it's being deferred because they're gonna have a meeting with all the stakeholders. So are we okay with late filing?
So are they planning on putting this amendment on tonight, or is it just here and we don't even need to?
The bill's being deferred. It was
What is
deferred
the
in
amendment being put on
transportation.
before that?
I
I'm just wondering if it's necessary, but okay. She's not here to answer. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's Berkeley, she always has her homework done.
I'm fine with it.
I mean, it must be a real emergency if Berkeley has an emergency. Her mother,
You don't wanna slow down the bike.
her mother just passed. Yeah, thanks, Dave. Are we okay with this? Okay. Elections and confirmations, NECAT. Do we have Mr. Mercer? I feel like they told me he was gonna,
think that he did not submit a questionnaire.
I also have heard that there's an issue with communication from the mayor's office, that the meeting was gonna be today. So maybe, Mike, if you could relay that back.
Yeah, I know Tom is out looking for him now, so.
Okay. We'll just roll that down to clarify. And then the next one is Nashville Music, Film, and Entertainment Commission, appointment of Ms. Hazel Smith for a term expiring June 20th, 2025. Ms. Smith? Great. Would you grab one of these seats and just scoot on up to us? Or Mike, will you push one up for her?
I'm glad to do it.
I was like, you could sit in and she could wheel you up there. Just like push her up there, right?
Just roll her up.
Ms. Smith, you live in Davidson County.
Yes, I do.
Great. And are you a registered voter here? Wonderful. And do you serve on any other boards and commissions in Davidson County
No,
that are metro?
no.
Okay, great. And it's been at least a week since we've thought about this board and commission. And so could you, or Mike, could you remind us, she's an appointment from the mayor, is that correct?
Yeah, she is, that is correct.
Okay, great. Tell us why you'd like to serve on this commission.
Well, I have dedicated myself for the past 20 years to bringing film, entertainment, and music to underserved communities. And we've been successful in introducing things that have not been available to all of Tennessee. And I have gained a lot of knowledge, information, and connections with the industry around the globe. And I want to be able to continue that and expand my opportunities.
Sounds good. Questions? Okay. I've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Thank you. We appreciate your service.
Thank you so much.
I think Mr. Mercer couldn't be here tonight, or didn't know and had to travel or something.
Okay, I had not heard back from him in a while.
Okay.
If we could, Madam
You will
Chair,
roll.
respectfully roll for the next meeting.
We'll
Thank you.
roll one meeting. Does that give him an automatic appointment?
No.
Okay. All those in favor for one deferral?
Aye.
Any against? Any abstentions? Thank y'all. That concludes our meeting.